mental visualizations of something catastrophic happening. I think the main thing that comes into play, like when you get a little bit older, though, is like the risk and reward thing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's like you
have so many mental battles, more and more.
And it's, dude,
it's like wisdom. You're like when to walk away from something, when to be like, all right, this is the moment.
Yeah.
So
Well, and I've like gotten in. I deal with mental battles like crazy. I've had anxiety and problems since I was like 3 with that type of stuff. But basically, I actually, dude, I'll get into it. I'm not scared to talk about it. I want to normalize this stuff for people.
I think it's important.
So, people are like, oh, I'm so OCD. It's like they're talking about like being clean or whatever. And it's like, sorry,
that's all good.
Knocking stuff over.
That's all good. Demo hit the mic like 5 times.
The dog's going to be up on the table soon. The cat jumps on your shoulder.
That cat's rad.
It's a loose podcast.
So I knew I battled with something that I didn't understand for a long, long time. Like I said, ever since I was 3, I didn't get diagnosed until like last year.
Diagnosed?
Yeah. Like I had to go to like a mental health professional because I was struggling so bad and I felt like nobody understood what I was going through. But like, so, bringing back the OCD thing, people say like, oh, I'm so OCD. Like, and it's like, yeah, that's a pretty common thing to say, but like, that's actually a horrible thing to have. I have it. I have, it's like called like pure OCD though. It's more like, mental compulsions and rituals. So like OCD is like, if like the form that people know about is like, oh,
flick the light switch.
This needs to be this many times. Otherwise this will happen. You know what I mean? And like, I didn't realize it. I was doing that in my brain, like where I'm like, okay, I need to like do this and this and this. Otherwise this might happen or whatever. And it got really bad and I didn't understand what was going on. It's driving me nuts.
Do you have an example, like a real, like what, a BMX example of it? Like what was happening?
Well, we all get like bad thoughts when we're like going up to, well, at least I think a lot of people get bad thoughts. Like, well, if this goes wrong, this is going to happen. You know what I mean? Yeah. Mine just started increasing so bad over the years where it was like, it was keeping me from doing things that I knew I could do that I was confident in doing. But like I have, they call them like, intrusive thoughts, like mental visualizations of something catastrophic happening. So
like a slam?
Like a slam. Like I'm at the top of the stairs and I'm like,
you could think of?
I'm going to miss and then I'm going to go straight to my head.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I could not get that image out of my head.
Oh my
God.
Yeah,
it's really not fun. And I still struggle with it, but I'm thankful that I've learned about it and I've learned some tools that are helpful in those things. Cause basically what our brain does is like, it's always trying to protect us. You know what I mean? So it's like, if you're an anxious person and you tend to be obsessive, like you latch onto things that you care about that scare you. Like I care about BMX so much that like, obviously my brain is giving me these thoughts that like, oh, well, if this happens, you can't do it anymore. You're going to slam and this is going to happen. And it's like a really bad mind fuck. Yeah. So I've been struggling with that like my whole life.
That's so surprising for somebody to hear that. Like this is the first time I have heard that. We've talked about anxiety briefly before, but for somebody like you who appears to be fearless in a sense, like that's so surprising.
You visualize landing it too, or was it always just these bad things?
I have a really hard time visualizing landing things, unfortunately.
That's real crazy.
Yeah, I know.
Has it gotten worse over the years?
The thousands of clips you filmed, you've just pictured landing on your head.
Yeah.
Like, how do you
when
keep
I was
doing
younger,
that?
when I was younger, it wasn't as bad. It didn't really start spiking till I was like 25, 26. But like, also you got to realize like, dude, what is it? The front of your brain. I can't think of the
frontal
name.
lobe. I don't know.
It's not the frontal lobe.
I don't know anything about the
Don't
brain.
look at me.
Yeah.
Whatever
Dennis?
it is. It's not.
We need a lookup guy, man.
Yeah.
It's like your logical part of your brain. It's not fully developed till you're 25.
Oh wow.
So it's like that's why like kids are sending it so hard because like literally, and it's like, it's not out of disrespect like that I'm saying this. It's out of like their brain isn't developed all the way.
Yeah.
And that's why I felt more confident back then because I didn't have to think things through all the time. But
it makes so much sense. I've never heard it like that though. That's the reason why you can send it when you're younger.
Yeah.
You don't think about the consequences.
Well,
so in a sense, in a oversimplifying things, but
and it's almost easier not to when well, it's more dangerous, but when you don't think about every single thing, it's like, I could do this.
When you're not focused on the consequences.
The thing is that, exactly, but I don't think it is more dangerous because you're more in tune with your confidence.
100%.
Now I'm too in
everything.
tune with like the risk side of things than I'd like to be. But like,
so you could be confident with something, but you picture these bad things happening.
Exactly.
You picture not going to X Games, quote unquote.
Yeah.
And then you start thinking, should I do this? When really, you could just bust that shit out probably.
Yeah,
with
exactly.
your
It's
skills.
like, I know the thing is, like, my core beliefs in my heart, I know for a fact that the things that are terrifying me, I'm gonna be okay and I'm gonna do it. Like, things happen.
So
like,
has this work, the mental work, helped to like understand like this is just something it's an issue. It's not really what's going to happen.
Absolutely, yeah. So basically, like, I had to like play with it to like unlock it a little bit. It was like I had to still make myself do things, even with the vivid images that I have running through my head of things going terribly bad. I'm like, well, I'm seeing it this way, but watch this. I'm going to do it and it's going to work. And I started doing
like
things.
proving it wrong.
Yeah. I started doing things like when I was distracted to prove it wrong. Like, you know, sometimes like, oh, a car's coming over there, even though it's not in my way, it's in like this, it's in my side view. So I don't really want to like do the trick because it's like,
oh, I did that same thing.
Yeah. I started doing things purposely when things were distracting me to like prove to myself that like, hey, even with this mental distraction, this is a thought. This isn't a fact. You know what I mean? So it's like you have to almost, and not to say that has solved everything, but that's been super helpful.
You know, it's kind of a random aside, but everybody has their own different scale with that. Some people turn it on when there's you know, a little crowd forming and somebody else is filming, and then you get another guy where if somebody's filming like and they just fucking hate it, like, hey, you didn't ask permission, like, I don't want you to film, like, can you please just keep moving along? And then there's other people that like literally nobody can even be glancing at them while they're about to ride.
Oh,
it's such a different scale. Like, did you ever ride with Gabe Brooks a lot?
I did ride with him like, a decent amount.
He hated anybody looking at him. Like, if there was
the same way. He like will not go. If someone's looking.
Due to be 100 yards away, like walking and just not stopping, just walking and just like, oh, here's something to look at.
He's
focused. And he would not ride. Like, he just would stop.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's different for everybody.
It's different for everybody.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Gabe.
Shout out to Gabe Brooks. R.I.P.
The man. That dude is the man.
Yeah. God,
straight up.
It's interesting how this scale works for people, and to hear you talk about this, like, did it affect you in driving down the road? How do you think this like affected you on a daily basis outside?
Well,
it
still does. It's like basically I'm gonna have to deal with it forever. But like, unfortunately, like, but things, once you realize what's going on and you have a better idea, it's easier to fight these battles. You know what I mean? But I mean, you know, to bring it back a little bit, like, I used to just have like, it was so crazy. Like, I'd have like the craziest irrational fears when I was a kid, and I would freak out. Like, I would, it's like, dude, what if I like, it was always what if thoughts. What if this happens? What if that? And like, I couldn't get my mind off of it. They'd get stuck on those things. But with that being said, BMX has been like a huge savior when it came to that stuff, because when I was younger and I found skateboarding and BMXing, it took my mind off of everything I was battling with, and it allowed me to like, because when I was younger, the intrusive thoughts weren't attacking skateboarding and BMXing. I would just send it.
It was the escape.
It was the escape, exactly. And unfortunately, getting older and, you know, having more responsibilities and all those things come into play, and it's like then the thing that is your escape also turns into like your torment sometimes, you know. Yeah. So, but like
But you can remember as a kid, it was always your way to prove that those thoughts that you weren't like completely convinced with, you could prove yourself like, no, my real confident thoughts are more important than these what if thoughts.
So what was the moment that you were like, I need to go see a doctor?
I started like going and seeing a psychologist when I was 25, because it wasn't all the way related to BMX then. It was just like, my mind felt like it was racing so often that I couldn't focus. And it was like really, it was becoming increasingly hard for me to, I don't know, feel joy. Like, unfortunately, you know, the reality is. And, so, and then things started, you know, it's also like you go through phases in life where like things are more stressful. Times in life are more stressful, and like they wear on other people or they wear on people differently. You know, for me, I took on a lot of stress from things that might not have stressed other people out as much, you know? So those things would spike it, you know? So, and then it got really bad a couple of years ago again. I don't really know why, but I got a spike, and then I ended up like doing a little bit more research and started reading books on mental health. And I was like, oh wow, the things that they're talking about right here are the things that I experience. No psychologist or doctor has ever been able to like describe it as well as I'm reading it right now.
Wow.
So then I did my research, and I was like, I think I should go see somebody who specializes in, it's called cognitive behavioral therapy, like CBT. And it's basically like looking at your thought processes and being like, that's not helping my life and not helping the things that I value. I need to be able to look at things from a different perspective. It's basically like changing your attention and your brain to other things.
Yeah. Just the process of how you get to the conclusion and the method.
Because you think like, oh, I'm born this way, it's going to be like this forever. It's like, no, that's not the case.
Yeah.
We have things that we've learned, behaviors that we've learned that aren't helpful for us anymore, but we hold on to them because they're things that like are embedded in us from being kids, you know? So it's almost like reteaching yourself something. So I don't know if this is too deep.
No.
I agree with I understand what you're saying.
So
it's so true. You get domesticated by parents and teachers and other friends, and you just take all this information and you think it's true, and then you get to a certain age and you could start to be like, well,
or you
this
just
is bullshit.
The lack
this is
of
bullshit.
accepting that it's the way it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be this way. I'm supposed
You
to
control
be
your life.
unnaturally afraid of this.
Well, and that's the thing. It's like I've
people forget they control their own lives.
Yeah. You're by your decisions and the things that you value, you know, like another thing that came with it, and it's super weird. These two things coincide a lot, but people that deal with like a lot of anxiety and depression deal with a lot of guilt, even if they haven't done anything wrong. You know, it's like,
that's where it comes from,
dude. It's like I've felt guilty like a lot of my life for no reason. I don't even know why. It's just this like feeling, but then you realize like feelings aren't really facts. Just because I feel some way doesn't mean that anything needed to cause that feeling. Like it's not cause and effect, you know?
Would it be like you judge yourself for things?
Yeah.
And when no one else gives a shit, and you're just like over judging yourself?
Yeah. Like, oh my God, that was so dumb that I did this, or so bad. Like, and it's like nothing.
And you keep punishing yourself over and over for no reason. When it's like, you already understand what you did that you don't like. It's like, you got to just move on. I'm the same, man. Like,
it's hard, you know? And it's like, even if people don't experience the things that I'm talking about on like a severe or high level,
I'm sure everybody
can relate to it.
You know, I relate to it like 100%. Like it's been, I've said for years that like when I wanted to do something that I was scary, I would generally envision the worst possible case scenario. And if it wasn't,
crazy.
But if it wasn't that bad, like if I could like work my way back from that, then it would be possible. But if I couldn't, like there was literally be like a gap, like there was this gap that I wanted to do. And I remember this as being the worst case scenario, was I couldn't not envision me landing face first on top of the first stair and breaking my face on the top stair. And I couldn't
and you're like,
imagine
that's too bad.
And I'm like, I couldn't get away from it. And I was like, yeah, I can't do this.
See, and that's what's crazy.
But like, if that happened on something that I can do this, but then you can't like get around that, and that's a constant problem. Like then, that's weird. If it's irrational, I guess is probably I don't know if that's the right word or not.
No, it's a great word for it. But like, you know, when you think about it, like what it comes down to is like, yeah, dude, BMX is dangerous. What we're doing is gnarly. But we need to trust our talent, don't we? You know what I mean? Yeah. We got to where we are because we've only done things that we feel comfortable in doing, or at least in my later years. You know what I mean? When I was a kid, I'd just send it. You know, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But it's like, you know, if you're in tune with your talent and what you're able to do, your capabilities, you're probably not going to try something that's too far out of range. Like I'm not going to Hail Mary like wall ride flare like right now. I'd love to do that trick, but like I'm probably not going to go do that right now. You know, because you want to
work out the steps on the way to it, and then when you're ready for the wall ride flare, you're like, I got this. And I want to film a clip tomorrow too.
I think too, like there's.
Are you picturing it downstairs?
No.
That's what I pictured at first, and I was like, oh, he could probably definitely wall ride flare bank to wall.
I want to do it at the
wall ride?
The one in Bellflower. You know that quarter pipe?
That's what I pictured after.
Concrete
quarter
pipe?
Yeah.
Dude, I want to try it.
You did on a scooter.
I just wall rode it on a Super 73.
Okay, that wall ride. The DAC wall ride, I call that.
That spot's so fun.
Yeah.
But like, I think also what's been super helpful is coming to this like place of like, listen, I've already accepted the dangers of BMX from a young age, and I know that that's there, but I value it and I care about it so much that I need to accept what comes from it, because I'm not going to stop doing it. Even if it scares me, I'm not going to stop. I love it too much. You know,
you're hooked, so might as well get this shit out of there.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like
weird images, like,
so that's what's been helping me a lot, is like, obviously like the behavioral help stuff, but then also the idea of like, I've already made the decision. You know what I mean? I've already chose that this is what
you made
I
the decision
value.
15 years ago, basically.
Exactly.